So the hold seller trade, the idea here is that we are going to look at items from my personal collection, much as you would view a stock. Now we're going to move on to the live action Ewok collection that I have. And I'm only missing one figure, which I feel like I totally had the missing figure. So if you know what I'm talking about, you will realize I'm missing one live action Ewok. And I'm kind of like really scratching my head like, I'm sure I had that one because I really liked the Ewoks as a kid. I mean, I just was really into them. And I really feel like there's just so much hate now with the Ewoks with adult collectors, and I don't get it because I know they loved the Ewoks when they were kids. Because I was alive back then. You know, I'm 46 years old, and I know everybody loved the Ewoks when they came out. But now as like bitter old men, people are like, oh, I hate the Ewoks. They're so lame. Yeah, everybody loved them as kids. So here's my Ewok, my live action Ewok collection. This is the one of the two archers. And I imagine one of the issues with him, of course, is that the bow gets broken. You can actually see my bow is a little bit bent because this is the way I found him. He has a good grip. And this is something I think a lot of collectors appreciate, right? Is when the grip is really good on a figure. I mean, this figure has been, like I said, just sitting in a bag in storage for like decades. And it has warped the bow a little bit, but it's not broken. And you can see he has his hood. You can see that he has his this is a little fuzzy, but you can see that he does have his quiver, right, for for the arrows. So he is complete as far as I can tell. The bow is in pretty good condition. And I can't remember what the name of this particular Ewok is, so I'm just going to call him Archer 1. So this is Archer 1 of the Ewoks. He is complete. Hold, sell, or trade. Hold, sell, or trade on the Ewok Archer. By the way, I'm kind of wondering if this one was supposed to, if these are supposed to have coins or not, and I can't remember. And I don't know if they were supposed to have coins or not, because I think some of these figures did have coins, but I don't remember which ones. But again, I don't seem to have any of them as far as the live action ones. So on the Ewok Archer, this is a big one. This is, of course, Chief Chirpa. And as you can see, he's complete. He's got like his headpiece. He's got his staff. I didn't take any other angles, or they just were so bad I couldn't show them on the air. But this is my Chief Chirpa figure. He looks like he's in pretty darn good condition. When I was, posing him, he looked like he was in pretty good condition. So hold, sell, or trade on the Chief Chirpa. And what do you guys think? I know one of the issues, even from when I was a kid, and playing with these things, a lot of kids, for whatever reason, they would take the headdress off and they would lose them. And I never really understood that. Even as a kid, I didn't understand that because I was really big into like trying to keep my toys in pretty decent condition. I would lose guns a lot because guns are so small. And you'll see that with my collection. I've got a lot of missing guns. And, but like, this obviously came out later in the line, so I was a little bit older, right? When these came out, these were basically like the last figures, right? The last wave of figures from Return of the Jedi. So it's like, I just remember a lot of kids lost the headdress. And so I feel like that does help the value of it, even as a loose item, the fact that I do have the headdress. So hold, sell, or trade on Chief Chirpa. By the way, I do have the wagon. I do have the Ewok battle wagon. It's in a box just a few feet from me. And I do plan to show that on a future episode where I do vehicles. So the next Ewok I've got here is the second Archer. Again, I don't remember the name of these characters. I don't think they were, I don't know if they were actually based on, well, I'm sure they were based on characters we saw in the show, or not the show, the movie. Yeah, I don't remember the name of this. This is the second Archer, though. It's kind of funny how similar they look, right? If not for the headgear, they almost look exactly the same in my mind. But you can see that he's complete. You can see that he does have his bow. He does have his quiver, and he does have his headdress. Again, I feel like a lot of kids, even when I was growing up, for whatever reason, they would take the headdress off and they would lose it. And so mine is complete and I think looks pretty good. So this is the second Ewok Archer. Hold, sell, or trade for the second Ewok Archer. This is another character that I can't remember the name. I remember really liking this character. He actually reminded me of one of the characters in the Ewok television movie. And if you remember that, the first Ewok television movie, that was the Ewok Adventure, I think what was what it was called. There was a character that was like he was an axe guy, and he was a really cool character. I remember really liking those Ewok television movies. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, you know, I have Disney Plus. I should just watch those movies again and see how they hold up. Maybe I'll actually do a review on a future episode where I talk about those old Ewok episodes. But anyway, that's what this character reminds me of. That's not what this character is. He's not from the Ewok Adventure. He is from Return of the Jedi, but I don't remember his name. But he does look to be complete. He's got his, it looks like he's got like a horn, right? And then he's got his axe, which is kind of neat. And of course, he's got his headdress. And I feel like this is one that the headdress was much easier to lose, right? Because like the headdresses for the other Ewoks, they kind of just, you know, you kind of have to deliberately take them off. But this one, I think, is a little bit looser, but you can see that he is complete. So I'm not buy. I don't know why I'm saying buy. Hold, sell, or trade, right? Because I don't need to buy this. I already got this guy. So this is, again, the axe-wielding Ewok. And this is the second Ewok scout. I can't remember his name. He kind of has a unique spear that you can't really see too well, unfortunately, in these pictures, but he is complete because his spear has like 2 heads on it. But this is the second Ewok scout. I know that. I just don't remember his name. But you can see he is complete. I feel like this one maybe did have a coin, and I don't have it. I can't remember, but I feel like he might have been later, you know, not the Return of the Jedi line, but the Power of the Force line. And I feel like he may have had a coin. But I don't remember specifically. But I do remember, I always remember even thinking as a kid, this was supposed to be like almost like the older version of Wicket or something. Like obviously he's not Wicket, but he's also a scout, and he's also kind of smaller than the other Ewoks, other than Wicket himself. And then we have, I think, a big fan favorite. If you do like the Ewoks, this is of course Logray. This is the live action version. I also have the animated version, and you can see that he is complete. He's got the headdress, which I feel like his headdress falls off quite a bit. A lot of people lose it. And he also has his little like satchel, his little man bag, if you will. And he does have his staff, although you can see here, and I kind of wanted to show that in the picture, his staff is bent. So he's not very mint, you know, in that regard. But he is complete. And hold, sell, or trade on Logray, the live action Logray. And of course, this is the final piece of my Ewoks collection, at least from what I've been able to find. This is Wicket, who of course was the most popular. And I do believe, looking at it now, that is actually the animated version staff. That's the staff that's supposed to go with the animated version of Wicket, which you can see I do have the live action version as far as the staff goes. I just paired them wrong when I was doing the pictures. So I think he's actually holding, well, he's not really holding, but he has the animated version of himself, his staff. And you can kind of see him here at another angle. I love this figure. I think it would be very hard for me to part with this figure. I always really liked Wicket, especially not just because of the movies, but because of the television movies and because of the cartoons. So I don't know if I would really want to part with this one specifically, but again, that is the whole point of the show. It is hold, sell, or trade my Wicket figure. And again, I think I paired him with the wrong spear. That's the animated version, but I do have the right one. And again, I'll show that just real quick. I just paired them wrong when I did the pictures. I paired them with the wrong spears. They are both Wicket spear, but the different versions of them. So again, hold, sell, or trade on Wicket. And so moving on, we're still got Endor. So this is the Endor Rebel Trooper, the Rebel Commando, I think a lot of people also call him. I can't remember his official name. You can see that his weapon is not broken. I think a lot of times the strap gets broken. So I did want to show that in this picture, that the strap for his gun is not broken. This is a cool figure. Obviously, it goes very well with my Ewok collection. So that is an argument for keeping it, I guess, is for holding it. But hold, sell, or trade on the Endor Rebel Commando, which I think, again, pairs very well with my Ewoks. And here's another figure. I believe his name is Pruneface. This figure was always fascinating to me. So this is one of those figures that you blink and you miss him.